So guys, what's new? I'm squinting because it is so bright outside. What can I do about this? Like, I feel like I need to put some kind of like filter screen like behind my camera, but then will it make the lighting crap? Today, oh my goodness, I'm actually very excited. I've just spent the last like 20 minutes scrolling TikToks to kind of learn how to use this product a little bit. They're made by Mitchell curve and color cases. I know some of these are like discounted on his website now, so I'm assuming some of them are like getting discontinued, but I'm just going to use whatever I have here. You can still get lots of this stuff, and I'll just give you guys a little review. I'm going to try and do like a full face using them, more or less. Like, I might have to add some other bits and pieces, but I want to try and use as much of these products as I can. And the reason I was doing research was because it came with the spatula, which made me think you need to like remove it from the case. And I found on the Made by Mitchell TikTok, they were saying that they are better used when you scoop them out, put them on your hand, and kind of warm them up, because it's like a very matte formula. The color cases, I think, are more matte. Curve cases, I'm not sure. I feel like the curve cases are a bit more dewy. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to make sure I was using them correctly, you know what I mean? And I think we'll do little checkups as well throughout the day to see how it wears, because I'm going to use it for like foundation and everything. Now also, I did get sent something that I already purchased myself from Glam Raider, which was so lovely. So I'm going to give away the one I was sent in PR to one of you guys. I mentioned in my PR haul that I felt really bad because obviously it's the shade Light because it was sent for me, but I really don't want anyone to miss out. So I'm gonna have like all of the giveaway information in the down bar. Surely there's like light, medium, and deep or something like that. I'm not too sure. I need to look it up on the website, but I'm gonna have one for everyone. I'll just purchase them and send them directly to you. So in the comment that you do leave, obviously check the down bar for the rules, but make sure you let me know which color you would be wanting out of like the light, medium, or deep. I didn't want anyone to miss out. Like, I felt bad in my PR haul when I was talking about it because obviously I only had the light one, but problem solved. All right, and I'm really excited. There's some like colorful bits and pieces here. So without further ado, let's just jump in. I heard someone say if you've got like more like dry or normal skin, you might want to like use a lot of like, you know, moisturizing prep underneath, just because, you know, they can be a little bit drier since they're matte. The color cases I'm talking about, this is what it looks like. This is, oh, it's just called the color case. So it's got skin tones for basically everyone in here, which is really cool, including, I don't know if that's black or almost black, and then that looks like pure white. So you could kind of mix and match. Sorry if you can hear all sorts of different sounds. We've got cleaners here at the moment doing a quick cleanup for us. It's fine, who cares? On my face already, I have a little bit of my XO Beauty Fit Tan, and I also put on sunscreen this morning. So I'm just gonna grab the first moisturizing primer I see, which is the Love Dive by She Glam, and it's this really cool like gel kind of texture you can kind of see. And I'm just gonna make sure I give my give my skin a nice thick, ow, I just stared myself in the eye. Is it gonna be one of those videos, is it, where just things keep happening? All right, that's feeling it nice. My mum always rips into me for like the size of our mugs. I just love a huge mug. I never fill them up. Like, I only have like this much liquid in them, but they're just so fun. I feel like a little elf with like a huge jug of coffee or tea. I kind of like get annoyed when I have to like put stuff on my hand because I just feel like it gets all like messy, but it's fine. We're gonna take this brush. This came with it, right? And here's a close-up in case you're curious. I have no idea if this particular one, actually I think it was getting discounted or discontinued. The other one I have is this one, which is like super colorful, which I thought would be fun for eyes or eyeliner and things like that. And then while we're at it, let's open up the curve case just to have a quick look-see. So the reason I'm honestly so hyped for these products, genuinely, is because I just feel like it's something a little bit different. It reminds me of the Makeup Forever Flash palettes, is that what they were called? From back in the day. I never had one of them, but I always wanted one, but they were very expensive. That's so pretty. I don't know, I just feel like this kind of product is so fun. Obviously for like makeup artists and things like that, but also just for just the everyday person that loves to play with makeup. It's just something that you look at it, you feel like you can get creative. For me, it sparks my inspiration and it just makes me excited to put on makeup. I just love something a little bit different. Like, I don't know, I just think these are a brilliant idea. I would love to do, you know, some kind of cool cream blush palette or something one day. Like, I don't know, they just really do inspire me. I also look at them and I think like lips, you know, remember back when I did my BH Cosmetics palette and it had like the lipsticks on one side and then the eyeshadows on the other, and that's the reason I loved those lipsticks, was because I love to like mix and match and like get a little bit creative. Like, it's just, I'm all about that. Looking back, I bet I could have used them as blush. I wonder if I ever did use them as blush. Surely I would have thought of that. I'm like thinking about it now and I'm like, those would be the prettiest blush colors. Anyway, what's the difference between this shade and this shade? Like, they both look kind of white. One of them maybe is a little bit warmer. This one looks quite pink. I'm gonna just guess and mix a couple of shades together. Maybe these two. Digging them out, it does not feel like hard whatsoever. You're supposed to just kind of like warm them up. So using literally something warm like the back of your hand, where you can get some of that warmth on the product and just kind of whip it up a little bit. Apparently this is how you activate, you know, so that it goes on much creamier. I'm just gonna take a little bit on the spatula and kind of like eyeball it. Do you guys think that color looks good? I feel like that looks pretty good. Maybe even a little bit too dark. I might just add a very small touch of like this one. So I guess the like overall texture of this or formula is more of like a cream rather than like a liquid foundation. You know, every now and then I do like a creamy foundation. It's not like my go-to for every day. Every day like I just chuck on a liquid normally, but I'm so excited to like see how this wears throughout the day and see if it looks good. I feel like it's gonna go one of two ways. Like, it's either gonna be really good or really bad, and that's kind of like the reviews I saw on TikTok. I didn't want to feel like influenced by any means, but like I swear half the people either loved it or half the people hated the formula and said it was like so dry, which makes me nervous because I feel like I err on the side of dry. What I've done is I've wet a sponge. I have not distributed this very well. Let's just go straight in. Oh, maybe it is too pale. I screwed that up, didn't I? Okay, it's looking very dry. I also applied way too much. I'm just gonna like stamp whatever's left on my hand. It really stays put though. Oh, I feel like I'm in a race to blend this out before it sets. I warmed that up on my hand for so long. I'm actually just gonna go straight in with a finger and just try like kind of like, you know, rubbing it. This is kind of weird. It's just a bit funny with my nails. I can't really get in there. It's just gonna go all over my nails. Okay, I'm trying to stay positive. I feel like it sinks into pores. I feel like it's made my pores look worse than normal. Let's just persevere. I'm going to commit, guys. Even if it looks terrible, I am committing. Okay, I'm just gonna use the two darker ones this time because I've learned my lesson. I'm gonna try going in like this time. Oh my goodness, it's so bright. My eyes still have not adjusted to the light. Oh, so this is getting angry at the vacuum cleaner. I can hear him. I do feel like going directly in with the sponge and kind of patting it where I want it is better. It gives me like a nice amount of coverage and it just blends out way quicker, because when I kind of put it on with the spatula, I think it just distributed too much in one spot and then, you know, it's much more difficult to blend that way. So it's okay, we're learning. Because yeah, it definitely is sitting on this side of my face nicer, although I can still kind of see a couple of big blotches. I feel like I'm having to use so much product as well. Like, I've dug in a decent amount to these and I still feel like I could add more coverage, but I'm not sure if I really want to add even more product. I don't know. Also because I'm like custom blending this each time, I feel like the colors are slightly different each time. Yeah, I can tell you right now, I don't think I would ever use this again for my foundation. Just being honest, it just does not look that flattering up close. Maybe if you had oilier skin, it might be better. I'm not too sure. It looks nice when you use less. I think less is more with this product. I feel like it shows any dry patches and I feel like it sunk into pores, but more so on the side where I applied it with the spatula and then blended it out. The side where I went in with the sponge more so isn't as bad. Like even around my nose, I feel like it's giving me new pores I never even knew about. Can you see that? I'm leaving it dark. Hopefully you can see. I'm just not super phased. I mean, from a distance, I feel like it looks alright, but up close, it's just a little bit like cakey. But who knows, maybe as the day goes on, my natural oils may make it look fabulous. So I'm just going to continue and hope for the best. Unfortunately, I do need to use this for concealer. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to take this like more pinky undertone under my eyes. So same thing, I'm going to take a little bit and warm it up on my hand. This is very pinky, which I'm hoping looks nice under the eyes. I'm gonna try and just take a really small amount, because if I've learned anything, less is more. I'm just gonna dab it, dab into my skin to really warm that up. Set on the sponge. Beautiful color. It's just the texture I'm not 100% sold on. It just is settling funny in those like super fine lines that I have under my eyes that everyone has. Like, not talking about like age wrinkles, I'm talking about just the shape of my eye. It's kind of sticking to it and multiplying the amount of wrinkles I have under there. Like, it's creating new lines because it's kind of like pray that it doesn't make this look worse. I'm going to go in with my Naked Sundays SPF 50 Hydrating Glow Mist Sunscreen Spray, and this makes my skin so glowy. I'm just using it the same way I normally would with any other product. We'll see if it breaks it up or does anything weird. I'm hoping this will just help to like kind of melt it in a little bit and just make it look a bit nicer. Already that made a definite improvement, like straight away. Oh, that actually looks quite pretty, especially on this side where we had a bit more success with the application. This color is so pale. Okay, that's fine. We are going to obviously bronze and everything too. First though, let's do some brows. So I've got my little eyebrow groomer brush. Do I warm this up or do I go straight in? I might try going straight in first. Is there a color that's gonna be good? No, I'm gonna mix them because I actually think I'm gonna have to mix them. Thinking like this color mixed with white, just because the undertone, you know. Oh, I need way more white. Okay, that's quite grey now. It's almost blue, it's so grey. Look at that. Woo, that's not right. Okay, I'm gonna take the really warm color, this middle one right there. It is fun. I feel like I'm wasting a lot of product, but it's fun. Is that color gonna be good for my brows? Time will tell. I'm not a makeup artist, like, just a quick reminder. So, you know, when I'm doing these kind of videos, like, I'm learning just like you guys may be learning. I feel like I could have gone warmer, but it's not terrible. Thoughts? I guess this is one of those things though, like as you use the product more and more, you're gonna kind of like learn how much you need to pick up, right? But if you're trying this for the first time for yourself, if you end up buying any of these products, maybe just literally start with the tiniest amount. Now I'm gonna use maybe this color. I'm gonna take a tiny amount, warm it up, and I'm going to use this to clean up my brows. We're gonna do carved brows today. We're doing full glam. Maybe I should have done my brow mascara first. So I just grabbed it out of the actual like tub with the brush and then spread it out like this. And that also I feel like works better. This is an eye definer brush, if you're wondering. And you know what, this product is like very pigmented, so it's doing a very good job at hiding all of my stray eyebrow hairs that I need to pluck out. I feel like with this product, yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have certain ways I love to use it and then certain ways that I won't use it, like for foundation, for example. I'm just gonna use a random brow mascara I've got. This one is the Brow Wig by Too Faced. What's up with Too Faced lately? Have they launched anything lately? I'm not in the PR anymore, and I just don't really see much about them. I feel like Too Faced were the brand for a while there, like when they were doing the chocolate, was it chocolate bar palettes? I forget what they were called. The brow mascara goes on perfect on top of the, you know, whatever you want to call this stuff. The product dries down on its own. This is a roller coaster ride. Can't tell yet if I like it or hate it. I need to warm up my skin somehow and I'm really nervous. I'm thinking I'm gonna dip in with my like sponge into this corner shade and then tap it out here and just try to add the very most thinnest layer just to make my skin look less pale. Nah, that just made it go so cakey. Don't do that. Look at that. It looks all like separated and oof. Okay, I'm just gonna like not touch it again. You see the under eye too? Like what I'm talking about? I don't get this. Like I don't have any concealers that do that to me these days. It feels dry and I warmed it up, you know? So, don't know. This is risky, but I'm just gonna take another couple spritzes of my setting mist and just see if it helps. Oh, my eye's twitching. curve case. I want to try doing just some bronzer and stuff because I'm just so distracted by the fact that my skin tone looks all over the show. Don't really know if I need to scoop this or not. Colors are written on the back and then that's how they look. For a palette that's for light skin, I actually feel like this is like, if I looked at this, I'd think it was more of a medium. I've heard that you just use less. I saw on the Made by Mitchell TikTok that he used a very pale model and just literally used less product, and basically that's how he said you use it. You use less or you use more. Like if you have a really deep skin tone, you just use more because it's like pigment, you know. So I don't know, I'm just gonna start with the lightest shade, and I think I'm just gonna, oh, it feels real nice. It feels like balmy. Look at that, it's definitely different. Like it feels waxier and balmier than the color case. The color case feels more matte. I'm going to start by, oh yeah, this is probably not going to be dark enough for me, but I'll try layering it up a little bit. The coverage looks really nice though. Straight away I'm going to go in with maybe this one here, just because I want something quite warm. That looks better. So kind of mixing the two shades together. Let's go in with a sponge and just dab that. I feel like that just looks so smooth in comparison to the color case. I wonder if that's why the color case is being like discontinued. I wonder if there's just too many people that can't, like, you know, use them properly. Whereas this product I feel like is much more user friendly. It's, yeah, I'm glad this is the product I have to give away to you guys because already I like it better. But let's just continue just in case, you never know. I'm gonna mix both shades together. I'm just using my finger, dabbing it on. I feel like you could probably use a brush as well, but I don't know, just with like the texture, I feel like a sponge works good. It kind of like stays where you put it, but it diffuses out, which I like. Some cream products, you put them down and then they just go and go and go and they spread, and then all of a sudden you've got bronzer like across your whole forehead. Whereas this one, I feel like it really did stay kind of where I put it. Something's happening with the undertone. It's probably that pale shade. It's not quite the right undertone for me, I don't think. It's a bit too yellow, but I've just like kind of committed now. Like I don't, you know, I don't want to like not use it and then it doesn't match. So I might go back in with more of the warmer one. Let's just see. We'll see how it like builds up. Do a bit on my nose. You know, I love putting it on my nose. When you dab it on with your finger, it kind of feels a little bit sticky, but I feel like it doesn't feel sticky when it's blended out. And I wonder if you have to set these. I'm not too sure. I'm sure you don't have to, but you know, it's a little bit creamier than the other product. The other product dries like so matte. That's so pretty on the nose. Oh, I love that color. That on my nose was just this creme carve color. I'm gonna try the darkest shade just for fun. I am loving this palette. I mean, I haven't even tried the blushes yet. I do like how all the blushes look quite different. You've got two more like, you know, peachy ones and two more cooler ones, or pink tones. This one's not really, it's like quite a neutral pink. This one's quite cool, and then a darker, and then a brighter kind of peachy, you know, apricot color. I feel like for my skin tone with fake tan on, I would never use this corner shade normally, but maybe if I didn't have fake tan on, this could be a good option. Sometimes I find bronzing difficult when I'm not fake tanned. Let me know if you want a video of me trying, you know, those kind of colors with no fake tan on, just like an overall makeup look. I find it difficult when I've got no fake tan on to do like full glam, because I just feel like it looks weird. So maybe that's like a little challenge I could like put on myself. Now let's try this one, which is hollow there. I feel like it's a bit cooler, so I'm going to contour with this. Yeah, this looks like a really good contour shade actually. I actually feel like you could just use your fingers to blend these out if you were that way inclined as well. And it's nice because these have given me a bit more of a glow back to my skin. Like imagine that on like a nice foundation. I feel bad saying that, but you know what I mean? Like a foundation I love. Like I just feel like it's gonna be so nice. What's this like random patch I have here? Do you see that? It must be my fake tan with like the product kind of like moved it. I'm gonna do a little bit of the contour color down my nose for fun, because I feel like that contour color is perfect for me. It's not too gray. It just looks like a shadow. Yeah, I really like it. It almost disappears, which is what you kind of want for like proper contouring, you know, but it also doesn't. I don't know, sometimes if stuff's too grey it looks a bit, I don't know, wrong. Maybe it's just my skin tone. Either way, I feel like I've got some life back in my face. My under eyes and everything still look cooked, but which blush? Too many options, man. I feel like I'm loving pink lately, so let's do both. I'm gonna start with the hot pink at the back of my cheek. It's a very cool tone, like you can see. I've been kind of loving the cool tone. I've even been going for like a lavender blush, which looks quite cool when it's blended out. We're gonna go in with the other color. So that one was called Cold Heart. Now we're gonna use Strawberry Cream. And you can see it blended out very, very like subtly. Like it's there, but I'm thinking it's more like buildable, which I'm fine with that because, you know, rather that than have a cream that goes on and just spreads. Like I said, you know, the ones that just spread and spread and spread, and it's kind of like, okay, okay, that's such a pretty color. Typically, I don't go for real pale blushes. I say typically, because sometimes I do, but you know, I feel like sometimes the real pale blushes just look funny on my skin, but that looks really cool. I really like it. Blush looks beautiful. I love the finish. I love the glow. Yeah, I love this way more, and I need to try out the peach tones next time. You guys will definitely see me using this again. Let me look at this color case. Like, am I gonna commit to doing like, ooh, might just use it for like eyeliner or something. I don't think I could make this work for eyeshadow. Like straight off the bat, I just feel like it will be crusty. I don't know, maybe we could try a little bit. First, I just want to use some of this. I'm going to take this brush again and use that pink shade that I used for concealer. I'm going to warm it up on my hand, and I'm going to use this as waterline tight liner. I feel like this color will be bomb in the waterline. I feel like where I've just put my finger, I've just like removed product. Do you reckon you need to like set these curve cases, the, you know, the blush and the bronzer? Probably, because it's very balmy, but I love the finish, so I don't really want to like put anything else on top of it. We're gonna have to do a second impression on the curve case just with like other makeup products I love, just to see how they perform like on top of like maybe powder and on top of a like different foundation. And I saw Mitchell recommend doing this, so we'll see if it actually stays put on the waterline. The color is impeccable. It looks brilliant, so you know, it just needs to last. Color reminds me of my favorite MCO Beauty nude eyeliner, Universal, like kind of almost like a white, but it's pink, you know, like it's a very, very light nude, which makes my eyes look really bright because it's almost a white effect without being white and harsh. I mean, it's still kind of harsh, but you know, I just don't I don't know, and I don't know, like these colors are so cool, but I don't know where to start because like just did lime green, but I'm so drawn to the lime green. Stuff it. I'm gonna do lime green. I'm gonna use this flat liner duo brush. Is this, yeah, it's a lit glitter blush. I'm literally like applying it straight to the brush, and then I'm going to warm it up on my hand and pray. You know, the more this foundation sits on my face, I actually love the way it looks on this side of my face. This side where I added more, it's a hot mess. I'm kind of swiping it to get the shape, but then going over and patting it because you get a little bit of streak. It actually looks stunning though. I love the color. On to the next side. I've got a little bit of the curve case, or what is it called? Color case. The you know, neutral one on my eyelids that I put on as concealer, but not too much, thankfully. If you have used these products before and you love them, please give me your tips and tricks as always. I feel like if you could use your fingers, this would be even better, but for me, like with my nails, I'm not comfortable getting in there and like getting a nice line. This is like highlighter, almost yellow. Like it's green, but on my eyes it almost looks yellow. Like in here it's more green looking. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, is this yellow or green? I can't tell anymore. I'm gonna go in with the neutral color case this time. Let's do some brown, one of these ones that I haven't used, maybe this very corner one. I do like that about this because you'd probably look at this palette and be like, I'm not gonna use all of those colors, but when you actually think about it in terms of like eyeshadows as well, concealing eyeshadows, foundation, mascara, lots of different ways, you find you'll actually be able to use like most if not all of those colors. I want to try it on like a slightly more like blendy brush. This isn't a blending brush, but you know, it's got a little bit of a give. It's stiff with a little bit of give. It's the Crease Detail Brush by So Beauty, just because I want to see how it goes, like, you know, blending-ish. I actually feel like that applies way better than the dense brush. There you go. Maybe a sponge wasn't the best idea for the base. Maybe if I used it with a very buffy type brush it would have been better. What a plot twist. I think that's so pretty. Right, I'm gonna go back in with the neon green now. I'm going to buff it in there. Okay, now this color just, I feel like is a bit more, oh, I feel like it just looks a bit drier. Maybe it's just the color. My eyelids are going very ball sack skin, like elephant. Going back in again with the browner color. It's by no means my best work. Yeah, it's still difficult to work with. The buffing brush definitely worked better. Buff it and then leave it, you know, let it set and then just leave it alone. And like it feels like heavy on my eyelids. It feels like a bit sticky where my crease is. Let's do some fun like green. I know I just did a look with green, my yearly favorites video, which was such a deep video. I talked about so much stuff I've never talked about before. I'll link it below if you want to go watch it. I cried. It's always weird when I cry on video. It's like I'm literally talking to myself crying. It's strange, but yeah, if you want to go watch it. I did a look with green, neon green, like lower lash line kind of vibes. I feel like with eyeliner you get away with it better because it's in such a small area. It doesn't matter if it like feels a bit like thick because like it's not in the crease. I want to do this brown. Look at the color it's made because I like didn't wipe my brush off. Like a khaki browny color. By the way, khaki in New Zealand as far as I know is like green. I know in America khaki is like beige. I don't know, growing up I always knew khaki was, yeah, green, like a browny greeny like camouflage color, you know. Am I alone? Like, is this just a me thing? Oh, I got a little bit of transfer up there though. It's fun, it just feels heavy, like the crease. Once again, the eyeliner is fine, it's the eyeshadow situation. And I feel like the waterline, it's kind of shifted and gone like stripy looking. I don't know if you can see that. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's just sticking and it is transferring a little bit. Hopefully once it dries down some more it doesn't like continue to transfer. I'm not too sure how to like fix this either. Like, do I just wipe it off? I don't know. It might just be there to stay. Yeah, I don't really know how to fix it now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's blended in there and I don't know. I would just use this for eyeliners personally. I wouldn't use it for blush. I wouldn't use it for eyeshadow. Yeah, honestly, underwhelmed. Love the blush, love the bronzer. Even then, look, I've got a big fingerprint here. I was like, what's that shadow? It's a big fingerprint where I've obviously like been leaning against my face. Everything feels so sticky. How am I gonna wear this all day? It's like literally annoying me. Right, how am I gonna do this? We're taking black. I'm gonna run a spoolie through it. I saw him doing this on Instagram. I just feel like I've used so much product. Ow. Oh, frick. It's gone everywhere now. Just no, I'm not doing that. Nah. Nah. I feel like I will literally use the whole square of black to actually get enough product. Like, can you do it? Yes. Is it practical? I just feel like no. You're better off just using mascara. Do you know what I mean? Like, who's gonna mess around? Unless you're gonna use like one of the colourful ones for mascara. Like, obviously, sure, because then it's better to use that than buying a mascara that's colourful. Whereas black mascara, like, hello, we've all got black mascara. I'm not gonna like go to that much effort. I'm feeling overwhelmed with this makeup. I'm trying to stay positive. And I reckon we'll give it another spritz soon with some more setting spray and pray. Honestly, the sticking on my eyelids is driving me. I can literally see my crease starting to like, you know, lose the product on top of it. And it's just like a big line, like a big crease where, yeah, it's separating. I think I'm definitely, siding with the people that said it's too drying. This is like the worst feeling ever. I'm gonna go in with just like a little bit of the stem eyeshadow, put it a little bit like on top and just hope that it kind of sets it. It's not the right color, I already know, but I just need to like stop that from feeling so sticky and weird. I don't even care about how it looks at this point. It's literally about me being able to wear this makeup for the rest of the day to like show you guys how it wears. And if I do not do this, I'm not gonna make it. Like, I'm gonna have to go wash my face. The eyeshadow on top of this is blending quite nicely though, I have to say. Even though it's like really like drying looking, like without the eyeshadow, with the eyeshadow on top it kind of like disguises it and it already feels so much better. I'm gonna go with the same brush and crude, and we'll do the other side of the crease too, just to really make sure that I'm not irritated because that's just setting off my sensory. It was making me feel like actually overwhelmed. Like, that's how dumb. I know it sounds dumb, but yeah, eyeshadows on top of this seem to be going really nicely. I suppose this is the first time I'm trying a powder over top of this formula, and yeah, it's a win. So maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I just need to set with a bit of powder over some of those like patchy areas. We could try it and see how that goes. So no one come for me about how strange my eyeshadow looks today. We all know there's a reason. I'm gonna take a little bit of translucent setting powder right under my eyes where it's kind of like creasing. This works well. Like, obviously I'd probably do this before the creasing even occurs, like, you know, as soon as I apply it and then set it straight away rather than waiting. I mean, I feel like it looks really good set. So even though it kind of self sets and it goes really like stuck to the skin, I still think a bit of powder just helps to kind of soften the look of the product. And yeah, it's probably gonna feel heavier because you're layering, you know, powder on top, but I think it just looks nicer a little bit. Let's see how it goes down here. I think it looks really nice in the brows. I think the color I've done today is a bit too dark, but just the finish and everything, like, it looks really nice. We're gonna do something risky. We're gonna go back into this, even though I said I wasn't gonna. I'm gonna take a lip brush. I'm gonna mix together these two colors, like the two like hot pinks. You know what, out of all of the areas on my face, like straight off the bat, I feel like it's applying the nicest on my lips. And I'm gonna go about my day as normal. I'm not going to avoid eating or drinking. Like, I'm not even gonna look at it, and we'll come back and we'll see how it's like lasted on the lips. I'm applying it directly from pan to lip because I don't want it to be too creamy, because I don't want it to bleed. Like, I kind of want it to be more like matte and like, I don't know. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try out the curve case. Maybe I'll mix together both the colors again. That's so creamy, it's like really globbed up my brush. Guys, this is giving Saint Germain. I was gonna repurchase Saint Germain and do like a nostalgic throwback like makeup look using Saint Germain. But maybe I can just use this as like a dupe, so I don't have to like purchase a lipstick that I'm probably not going to use. Just for old time's sake, I thought, you know, it'd be really fun. Because is this not just essentially Saint Germain? Oh, look at it. I just feel like it makes my teeth look so yellow. How did I used to like wear this type of color all the time? Like, this was my color. Saint Germain. I am so sorry for those of you who bought Saint Germain because of me, because I bet we all look back at those photos like, I'm sorry, but you know what? At least we had fun. Do not layer the product once it's set. It will go geeky. That's, no, not good. But this side, look how nice this side looks, where I didn't touch it. I just set it, and it's really nice. I love the blush, the finish, the bronzer as well. I do feel like it faded a little bit. I feel like if I was to use it, I might even use it next time I try it in the kind of Patrick Tar technique where, and I don't know if this will work, because I haven't tried it yet, but I just have a theory. Put on my powder blush, powder bronzer, and then go in with the curve case and apply it like on top to give that beautiful color and finish. Or even just like on top of set foundation perhaps. Maybe that would just give it something to like stick to a little bit better. I'm not too sure. This lip color, I cannot take myself seriously right now with the green eyes and the pink lips. I look like if I printed out an outline of my face and gave it to a kid and then they used it as like a face chart. I feel like this would happen out of it. I don't even know how we got here, to be honest. Like, there's probably so many other looks I could have done, but those are the colors that really called to me, alright? So it is what it is. I guess I'll come back later and we'll just see how it's wearing, but here's how it's looking so far. It has been 2.5 hours. I've not looked up close. I've just eaten about half an hour ago, so let's look. Yeah, I love the finish of the curve case. I don't know, I feel like it's settled kind of nicely on my forehead. It's still definitely cakey, but I feel like it's settled a little bit. I think because of like natural oils are coming through a little bit. Oh my gosh, I was so messy when I was eating as well. It's come off a little bit around my mouth. I was having like basil, tomatoes, cottage cheese, and it was like juicy, you know? So it's kind of come off a little bit here, so something to know. I feel like it's creasing real bad around the nose on both sides. The under eyes are wrinkly AF. Eyelids have still creased despite having eyeshadow, you know, put on top of color cases. The eyeliner hasn't smudged. I think it would work well for eyeliner, and it worked really well for a lip pencil. You can see that the curve case, which was the blush we put on our lips, has faded. It's still kind of there but kind of not from eating. I think we would expect that though, since it's like more of a balmy waxy kind of feeling texture, whereas the color case that we used around the edges is much more matte, and you can see that the lasting power is much better for a lip color. And I think if I use that all over my lips, it would pretty much be fine still, to be honest. So that's how I'm looking. I feel not very pretty at all in this makeup, but I guess that wasn't the point. I don't know, like this morning I woke up and I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited to try these products. I'm gonna look so good. I was picturing really beautiful makeup, but I don't know what happened. I just kind of got carried away and distracted by this like neon color. Thing is, like, I could have taken the hot pink color with like some white or like maybe a little bit of like orange or something to warm it up a little bit and make it a little bit less full on. You know, I kind of forget about the fact that I could change the undertone as well using the other colors, or I could mix it with even a brown or something to make it a bit more of a nudie pink. Should we try that quickly? Because that sounds fun. By the way, I was looking at this. I managed to try every single shade except this one and this one. I'm gonna take this color mixed with this one here. This reminds me of those little TikToks I did for a while where I'd like make random lip combos, mixing together like just random lipsticks I'd pull out of my drawer. Okay, this color looks like a whole lot of me. Look at that. I should really take this off, but we're just gonna go straight in. It definitely looks crusty-ish because it's like quite matte. It's really making my dry lips show up, but I just love the creative aspect of being able to mix stuff together like that. Like, that's so fun. This lip color looks a whole lot better than the previous one. It's still not perfect. Normally I would have like a darker lip pencil and put a color like this in the middle and do like a little bit of an ombre, but it's still beautiful. Like, I love this color. Hey guys, I've had this on for almost 6 hours and I'm at the point where I just need to shower. I didn't really think about this, but I fake tanned and I'm worried that my tan's gonna overdevelop. I need to rinse. So we're just gonna stop here, but here's how it's looking. The long wear is really good, I have to say, except for how like it cracked around my nose. Maybe I had a bit too much product that wasn't blended out enough there or something. Don't know. I really think if I tried this again as foundation, which I don't know if I'll bother, I would just apply it directly with the sponge to my face in a really thin layer. That seems to be like the best method. As you can see, the lips stayed for the most part, but they look a bit crusty. So it's definitely something you can do, but is it something I would do if I was like going out and about? I don't know. It might just be something I would do for like artistic reasons, if I was doing like a fun look for a photo or something like that. Because yeah, it's definitely like very drying. I still do like the blush and everything. I feel like it's still there. Yeah, I think it still looks really pretty. If you like a really bright blush effect, maybe you just need to like apply quite a lot at first. I definitely want to do a second impression on that curve case and just see how it applies on top of powder and stuff like that. I feel like it could be good. So yeah, that's my review. It ended up being just kind of like in the middle for me. I don't absolutely hate it. I don't absolutely love it. And out of the two different types of products, I definitely prefer the curve case, which has the bronzers and the blushes and like that kind of texture. Honestly, I feel like, do they do one like this in, you know, concealer and foundation shades? Because I feel like that would be so pretty, and then you could kind of like mattify with powder, and I don't know, I feel like a concealer in this type of formula would be really nice. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed this video for something a bit different. Don't forget to enter the giveaway, and I will talk to you guys in my next video.